It is a big day for 13 on Your Side. We are celebrating this lady over here, Juliet Dragos, 30 years. 30 years in the making. Oh my goodness.
Who would have thought?
Your first day at ZZM was April 2nd, 1991.
Yes.
A lot of change during those years. Of course, we're going to talk all about that. We're going to take a look back. We're going to see some parts of your career and your favorite memories and all of those things. We thought it would be fun, though, to do like a little side-by-side. So here we go.
Okay.
Yep.
I know. Look at that.
Okay, when you look at that hairstyle, what do you think? Do you say, man, back in the day, I thought it was a thing?
I did. I thought that I was styling because I had a lot of hair, you know, and it was that. And like I kept that poof for a long, long time. But my best friend, Bobby, who started doing my hair not too long after I came here, a couple of years, and he hated that poof. So eventually he got rid of it. So.
Oh.
But I also wore my hair in a ponytail back in the beginning and wear a big bow.
Yeah.
And he hated that too. He said, that has got to go.
Oh,
no,
goodness.
Get rid of that ponytail with that big bow.
I do. Well, he still does your hair today.
Yes,
right?
he still does. He's my best friend.
I know. And he still keeps you up to date. I mean, you got the little wisp in front, just like everybody's wearing right now. And what I can't get over, Juliet, is the fact that you don't seem to age. Like when we look at that side-by-side picture, we look at you here with Lee. My goodness, like you look just as good now as you did then.
I think you can tell that I'm 30 years older. There's that big poof there again. You know, it's just been so much fun for 30 years. And if somebody would have told me on April 2nd, 1991 that I was going to be here 30 years later, I would have said, you're crazy. There's no way. I'm 30 years, but boy, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh my gosh, look at you guys.
I love seeing this with Lee. He was just such a character.
And what was, you know, you anchored with him for obviously a very, there's your little ponytail with the bow in the back.
Yes, yes. Yeah, 23 and a half years we anchored together. So
I think this was about the time that I came.
Okay.
Where that looks familiar. That looks like the Jules that I knew when I first came. But did you, did Lee guide you along in the process?
Yes, and you know, because whenever I came here, I had one main anchor job previously, and it was for less than a year, and I was behind the scenes when I started. So I came here from Pittsburgh, I was on the air, and then I left the job, and I was a little fish in a huge pond to be a big fish in a smaller pond. And so here was this anchor man, you know, this senior anchor who had been here forever, and he knew so much. And so we were exact opposites. I mean, as exact opposite as two people could be. He called me a firecracker, and I called him cool as a cucumber, and it really
worked.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, and I looked to him for so much, and you know, it was hard being here. I came by myself, and I really didn't know anything about West Michigan or Grand Rapids. All I did when I saw the lake, I knew that was it, that I would take the job if it was offered to me. So he really was. He just helped me so much, and his children were like my niece and nephew, and so it was a lot of fun.
Was it great? I mean, I know you and I are both huge football fans. So was it fun to know that when you came here, there were so many Steeler fans?
Oh my goodness, it was so much fun because you know that's in my blood, my Pittsburgh Steelers. And but with Lee, you know, he's a big Michigan fan.
Yes.
And so you know, talking about Tom Brady, and then of course because of Tom Brady, he was a huge Patriots fan. So there we did clash now and then about our football.
I can imagine that, yes. Okay, so as we mentioned, the year was 1991. People carried pagers,
yes.
which I hardly remember.
Yes.
Watched movies on VCRs, which
yes,
don't exist anymore, really. And some of the top TV shows were Home Improvement, Designing Women, and Beverly Hills 90210. The grunge look was hot.
Yeah.
Along with Nirvana, Boyz II Men, Michael Bolton. You know, it was a big year when you came here. What out of those, was there anything out of those styles that you gravitated to, or what was your big look in 91?
My big look was, in addition to the ponytail, I liked necklaces that fit, like big chunky necklaces that fit right around my collar. And so I wore, you know, the shoulder pads and the necklaces. That was kind of my thing. And back then, you know, we wore suits, you know, business suits. And so I had every color of the rainbow business suit with the big shoulder pads and then necklaces that matched every suit.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Surprise.
Well, I think it's time for us to take a little look back at your career.
Juliet Dragos was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but she quickly made West Michigan her home. She started her career at 13 on Your Side 30 years ago, never expecting to stay for more than a few years. That changed as Juliet fell in love with the people, the communities, and our beautiful lakeshore. West Michigan felt like home. It was where she belonged. And in her 30 years, she's been a part of many communities in West Michigan, living in Ottawa, Ionia, Mecosta, and Kent County. Juliet has reported on tremendous growth in West Michigan, from lakeshore communities to downtown Grand Rapids. She was there when the Van Andel Arena opened, the DeVos Place Convention Center was built, and the Medical Mile changed our skyline. She's covered the funeral of a former president, umpteen elections, school board and city commission decisions, plus every festival and fundraiser this area has to offer. And when it comes to giving back, Juliet sets the standard. She helped create 13 Friends for Life, a breast cancer awareness campaign, which several women have credited with actually saving their lives. Thousands of others rely on it for regular reminders on self-exams and mammograms. Juliet's other passion is Special Olympics. She said she's inspired by the athletes and volunteers and has devoted countless hours to serve as their advocate. Juliet may teeter around in high heels and girly things, but growing up, she actually raced motocross, taking part in powder puff races. She has the trophies to prove it. Nowadays, it's ballroom dancing that revs Juliet's engine. She's even installed a dance floor in her home so she can host the occasional dance night. One thing very few people know is that Juliet didn't like beer until she came to West Michigan. She says that's because our breweries are the best. Well, we think you're the best, Juliet. Congratulations on 30 remarkable years.
Wow, that's a lot. It
Kath.
even got me a little
Kath,
teary-eyed.
thank you. I mean, you know, Catherine was here. I remember the first day I came here and the door was locked and I knocked on the back door and Catherine Barrett is the one who let me in. So she was the first person I literally saw when I came here. And look at her. She's just been a great friend all these years. So Kath, thank you so much.
I want you to tell us a little bit more about the powder puff racing.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I was a tomboy. Instead of Barbies, I wanted Johnny West. I don't know if you remember those dolls, but they were movable cowboy. And I like G.I. Joe too. So I had cousins. I grew up with guy cousins and they raced motocross. And so we would go to the races with them. And so my uncle went out and bought me a little Honda, a little 50. And I learned how to ride that and I would race powder puff. So there were only a few of us girls who would race in powder puff because it was mostly a boys thing. But every race I was in, I won a trophy because there were probably enough trophies for every girl who raced.
Oh my gosh.
But it was fun. I'm still a gearhead. I love to go fast and I love, you know, just, I would have a motorcycle.
Well, and you do love your cars. You've got your little red car that you love, and
I like
goodness.
speed. I have the need for speed, and that's where it came from, learning how to ride motocross when I was a little girl.
I couldn't believe there was something I didn't know about you, and there I learned.
You didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, after 15 years together. And you know, you have dedicated so much of your time and so much of your passion to several causes in our community. Of course, you know, Special Olympics, you know, your dedication to that, nothing short of remarkable, but also, you know, your breast cancer awareness. You started 13 Friends for Life. I mean, it's been going strong for 25 years.
And thank goodness you and I have been part of it for 15 years. The station came to me and they said, we want to try something. We want to do a breast cancer awareness, you know, campaign. And we want you to be the spokesperson. And I thought, boy, you know, people don't really even say the word breast back then, you know, 20 some years ago.
Right.
Because what was so important about Friends for Life is I thought, well, if one person does a breast self-exam and one person finds a lump from a you know, and gets a mammogram, then it's worth it. And you see what's happened over the last almost 25 years.
Well, even when you first started it, and it was made mention, you know, Catherine made mention in your story, is, you know, the fact that some women say, you saved my life. And you have, you know, you covered the story of one woman who is clear to say, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here.
She truly is my friend for life. Her name is Valerie O'Brien, and she lives in Muskegon, and she literally was at the kitchen sink doing dishes after dinner, and something felt funny, and she went and got in the shower. She saw the Friends for Life ad. She got in the shower and she felt a lump, and they caught it. It was a very aggressive breast cancer, and so she is still alive and doing well. She has grandchildren, and we've kept in touch all these years later. And she always, every October 13th, she says, "Juliet Dragos, thank you for saving my life. I didn't. Valerie was the one who was she was the one who was the advocate. She was the one who got the word out because she was brave enough to do it and then tell us about it." That was my very first mammogram. I got that here at Channel 13.
And you always participated in the Komen Race for the Cure, the actual race. You
Yes.
either walked it or you ran it.
Yes.
And of course, you were the MC for many, many years.
And we're seeing the video of Terry. So everyone who, everyone knows that Terry was my original friend for life. And that is because we grew up in Pittsburgh together. So we've known each other since we were 12 years old.
Oh my gosh.
She happened to move to West Michigan right when her first daughter was born. And now we live miles away from each other. We both live in the Rockford area, but so that was why she naturally was my friend for life. And after her second daughter, she felt a lump, same thing. And by then she was my friend for life.
Right.
And it turned out to be, a mammary duct that was clogged. But yeah, we really, when they say friends for life, we've known each other since we were 12 years old, grew up together in Pittsburgh.
Yep. So, sometimes things just work out where people were brought into your life and then she came here to give you support all these years.
Yes.
Isn't that great? And I truly love your passion that you have for Special Olympics. How did you even get started with that?
Spartan Nash, which was Spartan Stores at the time, is the premier sponsor for the Special Olympics Michigan State Summer Games, which are the big ones. There are between 5,000 and 7,000 people every year on the campus of Central Michigan University. So the president of Spartan Stores at the time said, we don't want an MC up in Special Olympics at Central Michigan who's from Detroit. We want one of our own people. Let's get that new anchor from Channel 13 to see if she's interested. And so they asked me, and I thought, well, I don't know that much about Special Olympics. I just know I have a really good feeling when I think about it. And so, of course, I'll be glad to MC the Summer Games. I went up there and I looked and saw the sea of athletes, and it was just, every year I cry. It's just such a sight to behold. And that's it. I was on the hook, and I have not gotten off that hook yet.
You have not, because
it is my passion.
Now you're helping them to move forward in a very great way.
It's really exciting. So a few years ago, the president and CEO of Special Olympics, who had been there for 28 and a half years, while I was board chair, told me she was retiring. So I had to do a nationwide search. I led the search team. And so we found our next president and CEO in the backyard. He's from Grand Rapids and had experience working with people with intellectual and physical disabilities. So when we hired him, we said, you have really big shoes to fill, but we don't want you to be just like Lois. Tim Heilman, we want you to be a visionary. So not even a year into his job, his new job, we had a meeting just to gauge how he was doing, and he said, well, I have this idea. And he hands us this paper, this executive committee, and he said, the old South Christian High School is for sale, and I think we should buy it and make it the world's largest campus for inclusion and abilities right here in West Michigan, in Grand Rapids. And so we had to convince the board, and it's been, back and forth. So Special Olympics Michigan is now transforming the old high school into the largest campus for inclusion and unified sports. And it's going to be amazing, amazing.
And you were there from the ground up, and I know you're going to be continuing to support them for as long as you can.
I will indeed. I have gotten far more from it than I could ever give to those athletes. They are my family.
You always talk about how they're that bright spot in
Yes.
your heart, because the athletes are just, they are always just so excited to be there and just always happy.
Yeah, and the thing is, the oath is let me win, and if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And they truly live their lives, the athletes, that way. And they've taught us so much, because everybody has abilities. It's not about disabilities. It's what you do and what you do well. And just being friends and seeing all of my athletes, the most difficult part of this pandemic is we've had to cancel the games, for the whole year.
Right, I know.
I'm a hugger, as you know, and so I cannot wait till the day that I can get back and hug every one of those athletes, because I love them so much.
Oh my goodness. I know. It's going to be great to be able to see so many things get back to normal, but you've done a great way of just really pushing forward and still making people feel connected, in your newscasts and in your social media, and everything that you do is always,
thanks.
From the heart. And I think that's why, viewers love you so much and always have, because you come with such authenticity. This is who you get. It is what it is, and
right.
It's not like, oh, I met her and she seems so different. Like, they see you on the air and they see you in person and they know they're getting it. And it's really hard to find those people who are genuine like that. And so
I appreciate that. And one of the things when people say, why have you stayed here this long? Because it is the people. You have become one of my dearest friends, and we have gone through so much together, especially with all of our community things. And so it's so nice to have a girlfriend here, a friend for life, that when you come to work, and for a while we were separated for a couple of months, but there aren't that many people in the business for as long as we've been. And
Right.
same with George. Whenever George had his anniversary, I said, that we're a dying breed, really.
Right.
They come and go. Even we see it now, you know. It's a hard
Constant
job.
change is a hard job,
And,
lots of sacrifice.
yes.
I have been privileged to be able to be, you know, by your side and next to you on newscasts from time to time, and just learning from you and just being with you. I mean, you're such a hoot. She's got a great sense of humor and loves her hot peppers.
Oh, do I ever love my hot peppers.
And so I've loved all of that, but I can't hug all the moments from you. So we are now going to hear from some of those that love and are happy that you are here, Juliet.
Oh my.
I'll never forget that Saturday in Big Rapids in the mid-90s when you came in as a new client and became one of my very best friends. I love you, and happy 30th anniversary.
30 years, man. That is a long time, and it's certainly an impressive run. And what's really cool is that you and I have been pretty close friends for that entire 30 years. And for that, I am grateful. So congratulations.
Congratulations on 30 years at WZZM 13.
We love you. Hi, Joel. Congratulations on 30 years at WZZM.
Happy anniversary. We love you.
Love you.
Nathan says hi.
Happy 30th
Anniversary.
and Julie, we love you.
We love you.
You should take great pride in all of the wonderful work you've done and the issues you've tackled, from breast cancer to Special Olympics. Your love and concern for other people is what makes you special. Congratulations on achieving this incredible milestone. West Michigan is lucky to have you.
Congratulations, Juliet. We're all happy to have you here. West Michigan is lucky to have you here, and I'm proud to call you my co-anchor. Congratulations.
I want to thank you for 30 years of serving our community. I remember when there was a small, very passionate, dedicated group of us that wanted to bring the Race for the Cure to Grand Rapids, and we came to you and WZZM for your help, and you have embraced the cause and just made it such a wonderful thing. You're such a wonderful advocate for so many community causes. So I want to thank you for that more than anything, but again, congratulations.
Were there some surprises in
How
there?
did you get my family in that? Oh my goodness. So that was my mom and my sister Heidi.
With their
And then,
Steelers jerseys
of
on, I
course,
loved
they're going
it.
to do that for me. And then my niece Noelle and her fiance. And then you saw Terry, friend for life, and
Yes.
her two daughters. They call me Aunt Julie because they are. I mean, I've known them, you know, they grew up with me.
I do have to say, I think my favorite part was your hairdresser, Bobby, because it's come full circle, because now he has the poof on top.
Well, isn't that so funny? Yes, he does. And that's the thing, Bobby. I can't believe you guys got Bobby to do it. Bobby is my best friend in my whole, like, he is just the very best friend you could have, who knows everything about you and still wants to be your friend, even though the bad things.
There
you
for
know,
every crisis, there all the time.
negative.
Yeah, see,
There
now
he
he's
is,
rocking
yes.
the poof.
Yes, he calls this his mullet, and he loves it. And he lives in Florida, and he comes to Michigan and does hair. And so I usually get my hair done. Sometimes I go to Florida and get my hair done. Sometimes, you know, usually I get it done up here. But he really is. I can't believe Bobby, and I'm sure he saw when he sees that hair bow with a ponytail, he's going to cringe and yell at me and say, "See why I told you I hate that?" Yeah, that was just, oh, Bobby, that is wonderful. You guys, thanks for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm so surprised.
I know, I got a little, like, I thought I was going to need a tissue there for a second. But I love that we were able to round up more. We've got more surprises for you, too, in the week to come. So I hope that you can hang in there and grab your tissue box, because you might need it.
I didn't think I would cry tonight, and I did. So I better have that tissue box. Valerie, thank you for doing this.
Oh,
it's so
you're
much
so welcome.
fun.
I always love the opportunity to sit down and chat and just not have to worry about time and just talk about your interests and you know, get people to know you a little bit more on the side that they don't get to know.
Well, now they know about the beer, because, you know, I usually, like, one of my things is I will not talk about alcohol on the air if I can help it.
No.
But I love my craft beer. So I have become a beer aficionado.
You
in a
really
way.
have. Like,
I
you
love my
really
beer.
know, like, which ones you like and why you
yeah.
like them and so forth, almost like fine wine.
Yeah, and, you know, we do have the best beer in the world, right here.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you again, Juliet, for joining me tonight to talk a little bit about all of your past 30 years. We've been so fortunate to have you all of this time. I've been fortunate to be a part of your 30 years. So you've been just a champion for so many in West Michigan as well. So Thank you for all of your time, dedication, love, and support, and go Steelers!
Woo! I need my terrible towel. Go! Thanks, Val.
And thank you for joining us.